Hi, Silas. How are you? That's good. What have you been up to? I don't know. We'll see today. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know what you look like, bro. That's wild. I don't even know what to draw. Let me see. That's hilarious. I knew it was something. I was like, I know that's gonna be something. That's hilarious. No. He reminds me of the actor from Fringe. So they based him on him. That's so cute. I love that actor. I can't believe he passed away. Lance Reddick. I liked him a lot in Fringe. He was really fun. I know. I read that. That's why they based it on him, probably. That's sweet, though. I really like him. I don't know yet. I'll have to think of something. I don't think so. Do you even know me, Silas? Do you even know me? Yeah. I do, yeah. I was like, maybe I should work on the animation today, but I don't know. I know I need to finish this girl. Oh. So wrong. So wrong. What? You're supposed to ask. You're supposed to be interested in the other person, that you get to know them. If you care enough, that is. I don't really like dolphins. They rape each other. True. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. That's a great idea. It's like, yeah. So I'll explain. So it says that there is no such thing as in animals as rape. But basically they do it against the will of the female. So it's coercive. Yes, exactly. I'm like, so and it says that they have failed escape attempts. That's terrible. And they're most usually not successful. But they could not want it, you know? That doesn't make any sense, but okay. I really need to finish this girl I was drawing, but I really don't have it in me. That lines up with you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whatever you say, dear. Whatever you say. I don't even know what to draw. It's not that easy. I don't think you understand how art works. Except, of course, I would not expect you to understand. Oh, Silas. Silas. So me and Classy are trying to make a show. And we're going to make like a series probably. And it's basically going to be, most likely, a murder mystery. Non-existent eyebrows is so wild. What? You should! Oh my gosh, that would be fun. We are trying to figure out if anybody wants to do it with us. That would be fun. Don't listen to Classy. But yeah, if you wanted to, I mean, you're welcome to, but... Hello? Yep. Hello. No, I'm not. I just do whatever I feel like doing. I don't know. I do the most random challenges out of nowhere. It'll be like something. I'm good. How are you doing? Yeah, I went to the gym today, and that was miserable, but it was awesome. I love the gym. I love the gym. I've only been twice now, but... homework. Fun. Ugh. Yeah, my butt burns. Because I'm doing more leg focused and glute workouts. But it's killing. But I was using this tool. I don't remember what it's called. But basically it's these parts that you pull down like this. And this is for your upper body, obviously. And so there's a seat that you sit in, and it has a bar across it so your legs catch against the weight. And so I guess there was about over 100 pounds on each side. And so I'm over here pulling this down because this is my first time using it. And so I'm pulling it down, and I'm like, why is this so hard to do? So I finally get it down, and my legs are under it, under the bar where my legs catch. And it lifts me up after I get it down. So then I'm like up in the air, but like not. So that was fun. And then I was like, why is that so heavy? I was like, this cannot be right. It's not a small state. Oh my gosh. Hello? And that is... Careful, Classy is a pathological liar. He doesn't know what... It's not slander if it's true. My gosh. That's gossip. How are you doing this evening? Right. What? What's that? Oh my gosh. Why do I feel like this is gonna be really... Oh my god, I made everything too long. Oh my gosh. Also, I don't know if I've ever shown y'all my card that I got from my friend Kimberly with strawberries. Thank you for being such a great friend in the world. She's so cute. I love her. Ugh. Maybe I'll just do something digital because this is crap. $5 a.m. is fun though. That's like my nightlife time. That's my kind of thing. I like being up at night and early morning. Early morning. 5 o'clock in the morning. Conversation got boring. Going to bed soon. Okay, let me see. I just don't want to. I don't know what I want to draw. Why you gotta be so complicated, lady? Oh my gosh. That sounds awesome. Oh. Oh my gosh, I have to read back. Yes, Silas. What? What about it? Sorry, I was looking at drawings and stuff, ideas. What about it? Yes. Yes. Oh my god! Silas, come on. Come on. No, it's sweet. It's cream cheese. It's a sweet cream cheese icing that you make. And it goes with the... It goes with the cinnamon. You uncultured swine. Uh-huh. No, it was something I made on my Instagram. Uh-huh. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't, but... My gosh. I think Silas is racist. That's what I think it is. That's just me, though. He's like, that's probably how... I don't know. I'm just... This is just like the dolphin thing all over again. I could say the same for you. Good lord, you didn't even, like... Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes, exactly. what I said. My sister asked me a weird question the other day. She's like, do you think you have black cat energy? I was like, why would I think that? I said, look at me. I said, look at how I act. I said, I don't think so. She was like, I didn't think so either. I said, then why are you asking me? And she was like, I don't know. It's supposed to be like a mysterious womanly energy, you know? Like I guess like Catwoman, for lack of a better example, like Catwoman, like Selena Kyle, in suit though, I suppose. I know. I agree. I'm like the orange ones, I think, or like the really weird ones. I don't know. What's a really weird one? Like the Dobby cats I sent you. I feel like I'm a Dobby cat sometimes. Like the faces and everything, like. What do you mean? It was not insulting. What? I don't remember, I'll be honest. That's funny. But that's more fair. I think that's more fair. I remember there was this show I watched when I was younger with my cousin and my sister. And it literally was a black cat and golden retriever boy. And I don't remember what those shows were called. But they were so... I would watch them now because they were so cringy. But like, I don't remember what they were called. It was like... I don't know if they were superheroes or not, though. I don't know. But they were young, like, at the most 15. Aw, thank you. Yeah, it's a recipe I got, like let me look it up. I don't think so, but I'll check. Oh my god, no. That cat girl. Movie. No, there was literally one. What do you mean? Sorry. Bluetooth, I don't make sense with that. I'm looking. I'm getting paper. Look at me now. I don't remember what it was. They were the main characters. It was like the one girl was a black cat and she turned into a human. And then the boy was a golden retriever and he turned into a human. But I'm getting nothing about it. There's the Reddit page! Help find these two movies that features the boy who transformed into the golden retriever, and in the sequel the girl transformed into a black cat. That's literally me right now. Yeah. But what did they say? What did they say? No, I can't read the answers. Alright. Thank you for coming on. No, it's a live action. It was like mid 2010. I know. Oh my gosh, they're like the ones that like make me feel like I'm like normal. Yes. It'll probably be a month or so before I get back on Roblox. But you're free to send me a request and I'll accept it in the meantime. And yep. I mean, even off stream, if you ever invite me or anything, I will. Where is your heart at? Nobody knows that. Are you really? Is it me, Jesus? Is it me, Jesus? But yeah, help. Find these two movies that features the boy. Oh my gosh. Can you read the response to this, Classy? Because I can't. Let me send it to you. Because I can't find this. Oh my gosh. We were talking about Daniel the Tiger. Yep. It's like a soap opera, but better. Rufus? Is that what it is? Let me see. Oh my gosh. My gosh. Email alert. Rufus. Movie. I think that is it. Yep, it is. It is. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot how ugly he was. Oh well. He kind of aged well. I remember the girl was so cute though. She was so pretty. But yeah. Her name was Cat with a K. Thank you for helping me find that. Ah. Oof. Well, that's sad. Also, I don't know why you were offended by the Dobby cats. They're so funny looking. They're so funny. Where is your heart at? Nobody knows that. You know nothing but me, and I'm not nothing. Huh. I know what I'd pick. A Yorkie. You don't know what a Yorkie is? Yeah, it just lines up. You have Chihuahua energy, but like, it's not exactly right either. You! I mean, both of y'all a little bit, actually. Y'all both have some kind of chihuahuas going on. I like how you ask the wait who after you laugh at it. I think that's how Yorkie looks. I don't know. But that's Silas. Hello, Silas. We'll put an S. Here you go. That's a Yorkie, not a Chihuahua. Chihuahua. And you know, Chihuahuas are spelled like the place, Chihuahua. 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 Chihuahuas are very protective. That's good. They're smart. They're good pets. They're one of the best pets to have. Yeah, not all Chihuahuas are the same. You would be like a wire hair Chihuahua. It would be mixed with some terrier. And it would be like gray, black. Hi, Cacao. How are you? No. Like you haven't seen. They look different than Bo. Bo's very unique looking. You'd have to see him, but. Hello? I'm sorry, I won't be able to do chest for the next month, but once that's over, hopefully I will. I promise I would have kept to it if it wasn't out of my control, so forgive me for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I know my camera's off. Yeah. Mm. Let me see. Oh, that's smart. Anyways. Lemma, lemma, bang, bang, crash, bang, bing, bang, bum, bum, ba dum, dum. Dum, dum, da dum, dum. Rama, lama, bang, bang, crash, bang, bing, bang, bum, bum, ba dum, dum. Oh, watch an ad. What kind of cat is that? Get the Googler. The Google. What is its personality? Undemanding. Affectionate. I am. Hmm. Your. Oh, so like I was mentioning earlier, Silas, if you're still here, me and Classy were talking about making a show that was like a murder mystery. And so, do we want to tell them the ideas we have so far or no? Leave it for surprise. Okay. So the ideas we have so far. Oh my gosh. Classy has an idea for a person named Beth, but I don't know about that. I was not super into Beth. For a comedy, yes. For the seriousness of the show we came up with, I don't know if it would fit. But we were talking about the murderer's motive and what they were fueled by, and one quote we're going to have in there is that they were fueled by Mountain Dew. Wait, that's not infringement of copyright, is it? Like everything else we'll be doing. No, I'm just playing. You said that! Oh my god, I literally said, what is the murderer's motive, or what are they going to be fueled by? And you said Mountain Dew. It's okay. It's okay. I remembered. It'll be well worth it. At least we'll be famous then. The people getting sued by Mountain Dew for... What? I was gonna say something, but I take it back. That's not untrue. But you know... You'll die. This is so... You can't be involved in this stuff. You... You'll die. I don't see the vision. Ugh. 'Cause I'm not blind. Oh, how are you doing today, Kakao? I forgot to ask. I'm sorry. You'll die. Uh-huh. Of course. Yeah. But what? But why? Oh, this is trash. It's fine. We'll leave it. No. 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 Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So, what's a reasonable number of murders? 10? Oh! My bad. Sorry. Um, um, there has to be a pattern. There has to be a pattern in it. Why are they killing these people? What's, like I said, what's their motive? What are they basing all of this on that's causing them to kill in the first place? Yeah. So maybe like 5. Maybe like 5. Unless we do someone who's moved from place to place to place and has done it multiple places. Maybe like 1 to 3 each place if they've been like... That's true. That's true. And that could be a cliffhanger we leave them with, is that there's still bodies we don't know about. And like the last scene that we have at the end is them getting an interview. And it's like, they're like, we know that you've killed others, but we need you to tell us where the bodies are. And then they're like just sitting there silent and stone-faced. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad... Should we base this in a school theme, or should we base it... It's not a bad idea to have it not be the first time. The repeated is not a bad idea. I'm trying to envision it, though. I'm trying to play it out. I think high school. I think high school is good. With high school, it's kind of a more angst. Everyone's so against each other. Yeah. Yeah. With uni, it's kind of more distant from everybody. Yeah, it's more distant from everybody at that point. You'll die. It should be someone they never suspect. You'll die. There she's hulaing. I don't know. What do you think? Do you prefer when it's really, really obvious? Or do you prefer when it's someone you would never think of? How so? How so? Okay. We have to come up with a job for him then. Or is it that the job is like, we're not exactly sure what his job is, but it leaves him open to everything? Like access. Oh no. Is it working now? Or still not working? You'll die. Hello? Hello, hello? You'll die. How about now? How about now? It must be you, because it still shows I'm working.
Press warm enough to a bowling alley that you can layer up or layer down. Get cold or hot. You heard you serenading me?
Okay. So. We need to come up with what kind of job it would be. Like, what kind of job would take him places and, like, let it be so he has access to everything? Because if this isn't a school, is it that he has access to the school? Or we could give him some kind of job, like something involving renovations or changes to the school so he has access to it. Maybe even a part of the school being closed off because of construction or something. And so that's where everything is happening. And oof. And then he travels to other districts. Realtor? Why a realtor? I'll write it down, but tell me why. What? That's not a bad idea. Okay, hold on. Okay, write this down. He'll die. Excuse me. Okay. Let me put my thing over here. It's not a bad idea. Realtor. Okay. That's what I'm wondering. Should we have it that he immediately kills them? Should it be that he, lingers on it? That's the thing. That's why his motive is so important. Is it, is it to suffer? Is it to just kill? Is it, I was going in retirement and I knew my life was ending, so I needed a thrill. I'm just playing no. Please no. Please don't. That's the thing, we need to... I'd like to think of some unique ideas. But, What? That's why we need to consider his motive. He's a realtor. Is he successful or is he not successful? That's my point, is if he has a motive, he targets certain kinds of people. That's what I'm saying is, what should we do? What should we say? Successful. Okay. Successful. Well, you know what? That's not a terrible idea. I have an idea. What if it's not that he actually had a happy life growing up, but he's so deep into delusion that he created another persona? And so basically he thinks that's memories of his childhood? Like, I don't know. Just a thought. Mm-hmm. Well, no, vice versa. Vice versa. Switch it up, and that's what I mean. Like maybe let's say he's a successful realtor. He's made a life out of this. Everyone knows him as this really wonderful, pleasant guy. He's wonderful with people, children, older people. He's a staple in the community. And that's wonderful. And maybe he's so deep into this other life he leads that he even believes himself that he had a happy childhood, that he had good memories of his early life. And he is so deep into it, he can't even remember this trauma, and it's almost like a split personality kind of thing going on. I don't know, just a thought. Maybe in deep stress or situations that are really cause. Yes. I have no idea how I'm going to act all this. This is going to be... I forget we're talking about LPSs here. Oh my gosh. I really wished we could have watched more of that Psycho one. That one seemed so interesting. That one will really inspire us, I think. We should probably still watch it. Yeah, I know. I know. Yep. It's possible. Also, how many viewers were watching that, by the way? I think that's a good idea. Oh, I didn't think of that. I don't know. Why would they know? Why would they know? I loved the intro. The intro still, like, oh, that got me. I was like, that is so, it really inspired me a lot. I was like, oh, this is making a whole vibe. That seems really wild. I mean, the kids could be in the school. So would the kids be super opposite of their family? Super like... I think that's a good idea. Alright, so him, wife, and 2 children. So are the kids trying to be the opposite of their parents? Or of their dad, at least specifically? Or are they like them? Are they super, like, you know, like the super smiley, like, put on a show? Or are they super, like, almost like goth, for lack of a better idea, thought-wise? Like, more leaning into the dark side of it, but not really agreeing with it. I don't mean fanatical. I mean, like, misunderstood. Okay, they should love their dad. Okay. Well, when I say, like, a goth, or, like, kind of like that dark kind of energy, vibe, aesthetic about them, like, it's kind of like embracing it, but they're actually more gentle and actually more humane, for lack of a better phrase. Because they can love their dad and be, you know, sane and still, like, Yeah. One kid is gonna like stand out from the family. One kid is gonna be totally normal, totally like them. So let me like add the emo bangs in the all black outfit. Emo. Cause tonight will be the night that I fall for you. Over and over again. Okay. So, yeah, right. So what triggers the dad? What triggers the dad? What motivates the other personality to come out? Well, maybe they're gonna be, it's not that they think it's okay, it's that they're like, it's just normal. Like, it just feels like a numb normal to it. I don't know. I think yes. I think he should be popular. He should be charming. It should be that the person starts out lonely, grows to be popular. I think he should start out lonely, like, and maybe have like his own little glow up arc where he goes from this loner, loser, depressed into this shining example of perfection. Oh, I can see it now. If we made a little yearbook and we had his pictures in it from like the year before to the next year, and we had one picture of him before it and then one picture of him after he starts putting on this personality going on, I think that would be interesting. I don't know. Also, as a realtor, yes, he should be good with relationships. Unless you mean, like, romantic. But how? Let me see. Desire. Desire to be perfect. But he should be really good at building relationships and friendships. That's how most realtors are as it is. Their whole business is building relationships in the industry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe someone he sees as perfect. Or who has everything he wanted for so long. That when he was lonely, what he desired for so long. Also, that could relate to his first kill. His first kill could be someone he was envious of, who he thought of as the ideal and perfect. In order to feel like he's climbing up to their level. Or like he's bringing them down somehow. Yes. Taking a part of their personality in a sense, or like something like that. Sociopath. Okay. Okay. Okay, hold on. I'll look. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. That's what I'm saying is maybe he should observe them for a while. Like, I mean, like, I don't think he would be that weird, you know? That's not a bad idea, because he has to learn their behaviors. He has to learn that he admires them. It's a growing process. Not exactly. Because if it was just through realty, that kind of disconnects the whole school scene happening. Maybe some of them, but we need to figure out how are we going to tie in the school thing happening. Is it the kids bringing someone home? Is it, you know... is it a boyfriend or, someone related to, but not, I don't know if they should be super close. Not super close, but like enough to know it's odd, out of place. I don't think too directly. Because we already have two side characters. They're already very closely related. And I think it would be wrong to have so many people directly related to everything. I think we need some ambiguity going on. Some I don't understand, some of the who is this person, what was this victim like that they were motivating, it's all part of the growing to understand it. We already have so many people who understand what's going on that it's a little bit different. Alrighty, have a good night. Thank you for coming on tonight. It was really nice. Rest up and take care of yourself. How so? Community outreach? What kind of high school activities are there? I was homeschooled, so you're gonna have to clarify what homeschool activities there are like that. Working with the homeless. I have something. So if they work with the homeless, maybe they hear about something from someone, and that homeless person ends up dying later because they saw something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I like the homeless thing because homeless people also have access, most likely, to clues. Anything that's disposed of, anything that's. Mm-hmm. That's possible. That's not a bad idea. I would think that it starts small. Somebody died. It was weird. But nobody knows anything about what happened. But they keep coming across hints of it being something more. And then it being a pattern. And then it being a record over time. So it's like, I want it to be like a progressive buildup of interest. Na 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 na. No. I would think he would be so, all over the place, you know, yes. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I was saying was maybe it's not particularly that they're close, but it could be that, they're discovering more and more. And also, I'm wondering what is going to be the feelings between the friends and the MC. Yes, it's my same thing. What if the friends start pushing it? Because the friends know something, but they're not going to directly say that. Maybe they're unknowingly, both friends, they don't know the other person is involved or knows anything, but they're both using the MC to reveal it because of so much time passing by that they know it, that they're involved now. And now they're maybe pushing the MC forward into finding it because they want it over. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of it. I thought we were saying one friend should be the kid of the killer. I thought that's what you said, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, that's a little much. That's a little excessive. I mean, you know what though? Try and explain to me how that would go. How so? Mm-hmm. It's not uninteresting. I just need to understand what the whole concept would be. Oh my gosh. I don't know about that. I don't know. What would the point of that be? Mm-hmm. I know, but what's the point of leading them on, know, like, but why would they do that? Feel like they're so close to the truth. What does that mean? Mm-hmm. Why? Oh my god. Hmm. No, I'm trying to think of it. I know, I'm just thinking. I'm trying to play it out in my head. I'm like, hmm. It would be, maybe, what if the siblings aren't along with, maybe they're not friends in the first place, but they come along later and start being involved, and then they do that. Because that's not a bad idea. I just don't think it would line up for being friends with the MC. Like, already being friends. If they group to be friends, I think that makes more sense. Alright. Also, how many episodes do we plan on this being? Oh my god. Like, do you think we could do it in like 10 of them? At most, maybe? I know, I wouldn't either. 12 or less. Okay. That sounds good to me. Um. Hmm. We still haven't exactly, like, how is the the dad going to do this? How is he going to kill them? I know, I hope so too. That's what I'm saying. Should he have? I don't think he should be an eater. I don't want to get too crazy with it. I don't want to get too crazy with that. Because I mean, shouldn't it have something to do with the whole aiming for perfection thing? You know, what? Oh my gosh. We can figure that out. I'm not worried about that. He can hold a knife or a shovel or something. I can make it happen. But, like, just... That's not the point. That's not the problem. Like, does he shoot them? Does he give them a shot? Does he, you know, like, what's his thing? Mm-hmm. Well, it doesn't just have to be men. It doesn't just have to be men. It can be maybe, like, that way it connects back to the high school thing. Maybe, like, a younger teenage boy, like, high school age, obviously. So it would be from there up, probably. Because that would be from around the time the trauma started, or the glow up, and all of that, the first one. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yep, that would have been his ideal. Yep. So, I'm trying to think of a method. Mm-hmm. I mean, it kind of makes more sense, only because he doesn't strive to be like the older men. The older men more likely strive to be like him. But the younger, it's like... I know. But the younger, it's more like it brings back those memories. It shows his age. It shows now he can't control it so much anymore. You know, he's... Mm-hmm. Except for young people who are literally unlimited potential at that point in time. They're not just already what they are, but they have so much they can be. Yep. Exactly. That was my thought. I just don't understand. Like, I know he should talk to them. He should definitely talk to them. He has to vent this out somewhere. Yes. Yes. And that's my thing is, you know, does he cut off their hair? Does he, dress them in, like, I know this sounds so goofy, but literally putting them in ugly clothes and throwing dirt on them and, like, making a whole spectacle of it to himself and then killing them however he kills them. I don't know. Yes. So, yes. Yep. Yeah. Well, let me see. I think that's more my thought, is stealing things that make them perfect in his eyes. He's taking that back. Oh my gosh, Kaka said lemons. I know. Lemons. I mean, have you felt the acid? If you put them in the sun, literally. That is... I don't think that's gonna work. It has to be, like, not humiliating, but something similar to humiliating. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Oh my gosh, stop. Yeah, kind of, yeah. Basically, yeah. That's the weird thing. He doesn't feel threatened by women, but he doesn't look down on women either. Yes. Mm-hmm. No, Kaka, no, Kaka, no. No. Don't. Don't say that stuff. That's not a bad idea, because then he puts them in a position where they're reliant on him. And where it's like they continue to, you know, obviously they'll get dirty, they'll get sick. And, you know, and there's nothing they can do about it. But it's not, I don't know, it's not, I would think so, but something about it's not right. Something's not right. I had such a goofy thought. I don't think that makes any sense. Because then what? Because then they're gonna run around one day and someone's gonna say something, but that doesn't make any sense. If he drives them insane, that's different. If he plays mind games, that's different. To the point they almost become unrecognizable. No, we're writing a murder mystery kind of thing. Or maybe even driving them to kill themselves or something. I don't know. How about we keep it as an idea? We should keep it as an idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lose potential. Oh my gosh. We're writing a murder mystery to make a show out of. That's my thing. How is he gonna kill them? How does he kill? Because once he accomplishes, if let's say he did the mind game thing, where he's driving them insane. Hobbies. He should be very sophisticated. He should be upper class. Golf, shooting, hunting. What's a perfectionist hobby? He could, and that kind of goes with the different hobbies in the different ways. Golf is a perfectionist hobby. Let me look it up. Perfectionist hobbies. I see calligraphy, woodworking, puzzle solving, gardening, photography, woodworking, and metalworking. Tree garden. Oh my gosh. That's true. There's weightlifting, marathon running, hiking, stargazing. Yeah. What are acting, dancing, poetry, photography, fashion design, mountain biking, skateboarding, weightlifting or bodybuilding, parkour, video production, podcasting, volunteering. Volunteering is a good one. Or public speaking. Actually, this whole list. Community and leadership roles. Public speaking, volunteering or activism, organizing events, and teaching classes. My gosh, Cacao, no. Oh my gosh. Well, he could do a temporary thing where he's kind of like so well known here that he has a reputation already. And so everyone looks up to him, everyone respects him. He's just in the wind. And so he's not overly familiar, but he's familiar enough that he has significance and a reputation. Not that any of the younger generation would know, but the older generation looks up to. I don't know, which of those four did you think of? He has to be, well, I mean, famous I think of as, is it famous as in, the hometown famous? Is he famous as in, what's he famous in the sense of? Also, yes, I'll list them real quick. Public speaking, volunteering or activism, organizing events, or teaching classes. I was looking at the woodworking and the metalwork. Oof. There's so much. Because if we could figure out something like one of those hobbies, that's what I'm saying is, if he's famous, it makes it a little more complicated. We need to make multiple suspects. Oh my gosh. I don't know about that. Yes. Oh my gosh. I can't trust y'all for anything. That's what I'm saying is, if we think about the way they're dying, what kind of person would kill like that in the first place? Yes. Kaka said the real murder is the friends we made along the way. I agree with that. So we need to figure out who we're meeting along the way. That's gonna be confusing, suspecting, Okay. Oh my gosh. Kaka is coming up with people. I think they should just be normal. I think they should be kind of just a normal family. I think I want the MC specifically to be the most general, the most adaptive. It's not one way or the other. It's not extreme. It's not extreme. It's just kind of a normal family. Goofy stuff. That would be cool. What if they're a perfectionist too, but not to the same extreme? And that's what they notice, is that everything is so... I don't know. That's what I was about to ask you. Should it be a boy or a girl? We need to pick out who MC is going to be in the first place. Okay. I would think so, yes. I would think so. Yes, I think they should be. I think it should be a really well-rounded family. Kind of just like a normal example of all of it, you know? Very normal, very normal. Because we don't want... Well, you know what, I guess I'll have all of that at the bottom. Do we want it to be that they were living a normal life before all of this happened? Yes, I agree. With the MC, I think... Well, I mean, we could base it on them, you know, it's getting near the end of high school. They're trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. They're deciding what they're going to do with a career, you know. And I think, you know, it has to be realistic for a teenager, you know. You have to think about, what were you thinking about at this time? What did you want? What did you need? And if she goes along with if she also is a bit of a perfectionist in her own way, the pickiness, the attentiveness, even to herself, and how she is, you know, but not to an extreme, It would be like someone who's anxious, not someone who's, you know, a sociopath. But oh my gosh, Kaka, come on. That's true. That's a good one. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's not bad. It's not bad. That's not bad. That's things start getting put aside. She becomes less of a perfectionist, less attentive to what she's doing. Yes. But also, as a perfectionist, should she be unhappy in general? Like, she doesn't feel complete to whatever her goals are at that point in time, until she starts getting into the murders and the clues and everything like that, and it all suddenly starts to kind of flow with her a bit. Yeah. In understanding it and finding the clues and understanding in it. Kind of. Even if it's just... I think that could be a good bit of it. That would not be a bad idea. That's a different take on it than humanitarian. I think she should have an appearance of normal in the beginning. I think she should seem like just a normal girl, normal dreams, normal wants, and then over time it develops into the fascination, the understanding, the lack of humanitarian. Even that in itself is interesting, because it's like, oh, it's not just motivated by wanting to know what's wrong, understanding what happened to these people. It's also motivated by an actual interest and fascination, like you said. I would think that would be really interesting for a character. That's not bad. That's not bad. She should do things that... Should she be upper middle class, by the way? Or like middle class, or... I agree. I do too. Maybe like middle class, upper middle class, And maybe one of the friends, the one that's a little bit ditzy, who's literally kind of dependent on the murderer at that point, she should be desperate. She should be in a situation where she's stuck and she's not able to escape or go anywhere. So if she's lower class or, lower middle class, that would line up more for that character, I think. I think the other one having some kind of money would line up with the hobbies, with the mindset. Yes. It's more down to earth. If she's in an upper class kind of thing going on, she's bored. She's tired of being, I don't know how to say it another way, but she's tired of being a princess in it. She's interested in a down to earth way of living. Yes. And that's what I think is it'll be similar hobbies they've all done as upper class, middle class. She'll have relations to hobbies and things that are inaccessible sometimes, or particular. But yes. And I think that's the thing, is the friend who's kind of ditzy, but who's lower class, down to earth, probably street smart. She would be able to, be the down to earth and be able to simplify things. The MC, who's a little more upper class, she's going to understand concepts and etiquette and hobbies that are not, like you said, it's not things people would normally know. How so? Like spoiled? Like... Okay. Or, like, hold on. If we go off of, let's think about it. She's technically in a sheltered kind of situation. She hasn't been exposed to the real world. And I think over time it should actually soften her. Because she realized other people exist. And other people are not always good. And other people are... So she shouldn't be, like a horrible person. I think she should be slightly insensitive in the beginning, just because she doesn't exactly understand her lifestyle. But I think I think over time, she should become more serious, but she shouldn't become harsher or cruel. I think, unless if she does, it should be in a moment of anger, in a moment of frustration, not as a general person. If that makes sense. How so? How so? What do you mean, justified? Yes. 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 Also, over time, if she gets clues into the lives of her friends, specifically the ditzy one, who's poorer, I think she should grow to have some sort of pity, almost, for the fact of however she treated that friend, or maybe looked at her differently. You know, it should be a realization that not everyone is what they seem. That friend, in a sense, is suffering and desperate, but they appear to be ditzy, but, you know, naive, happy. And even the person, the goth misunderstood, is actually very insightful, very, actually sensitive, but also very, not manipulative, but elusive. Who? The MC? Like, of doing it or of being bullied? Maybe not bullying themselves, but maybe laughing along with it. Or going along with it. Okay. Well, also, the MC doesn't need to be a direct threat. The only thing that should be, it should be that she goes by. That's true. But, you know, she would never be an obvious target to even the murderer. The murderer isn't going to look at her and think, I know this person has done bullying, I know this person has done things against someone, because otherwise that would make her a straight up target in a sense, or noticed. We don't want him to notice the MC until she starts finding things. When she starts investigating and finding clues, then it becomes who is this? I don't know much about them. And then it's learning each other as they go along. The patterns, the backstories, the, you know. Yeah. And hello, Damien. I think in the beginning, the killer should be very like a dad. Hey, honey, it's so nice to see you. You know, are you gonna hang out with so and so? Oh, well then, y'all go do y'all's thing. He should be very casual but very charming. Yes. Slightly overly sweet, but still very, yeah, yeah. He could be a really great dad, let's be honest. He could be a wonderful dad. And that's part of the whole issue. The whole contradiction between the family is they know what he's done, but he's so wonderful to them. You know? Yeah. Well, he probably in his mind thinks he in his mind should think he's choosing to be a good person. He should think and lead himself to believe he's chosen a side. And then the other side takes over in other moments. Most likely in being alone. Because in isolation, you're forced to think. In isolation, you're forced to look at yourself and ask questions, even in your mind. And it really starts the whole thing. You know, I don't know. You know, what is it? I would think it should be what disorder is it when is it bipolar when it's the different, but that it's more extreme. I think it should have happened from a young age. I think it should have been this persona that grew. DID? Okay, let me look it up. That's great. That's great. That's wonderful. That's good. So, let's say he has that. So, maybe the wife? Here's the thing, I don't understand the family knowing unless it's by mistake. Or maybe they met the other personality. And the actual dad, the good side of him basically, the show, is basically so separate from it, it doesn't remember the kids knowing. It doesn't know that they know. But the other side does. You know, I don't know. I think that would make more sense because why would the good side of him, if it's really that deeply entrenched, why would his kids know and why would he do nothing about it? Why would that not switch him over, you know? The switches between. Also, I'm gonna write this down. I don't think she should be. I don't think so. I think she should be just as normal as him, but knows he has splits. I think that could be an instance in which she might have been involved once, but I don't think she should be involved every time or in multiple. I think she knows, but I think she goes along with the show. Maybe she doesn't think he's killing anymore. Maybe she's so disillusioned that she believes he's not doing it. And she's basically driving herself crazy with, these ideas of what he is and isn't, and keeping up with the show of it. Yes. Well, she's probably like, this is horrible, I need to tell someone. She was probably there for something, for one moment, and she was there. Yes, she has to be a wonderful show of a housewife, just like her husband. And she probably genuinely is that way. Yes. And I think she should be just as wonderful of a mother and homemaker, and like the same way he greets friends that come over to their kids, I think it should be the same way she treats them. But I think hers should be slightly more cracked in a sense. The way she talks and acts is like slightly broken. Slightly. Like it's that conflict in her showing through. That conflict doesn't show in the husband because he's split. He's two sides. With her, she's one person. She's one complete thing. But she's got flaws in it. There's cracks in it because she's actually very human about it. Well, she probably believes that the good side of him is real. She probably is in love with that side of him, not knowing the other one is more likely to be real. And he's not going to treat her like he's going to treat these other people. And that is going to change how she feels about it. Who have an accent? Yeah. It should give her reason to love him, Maybe he's very romantic. Maybe he's very, obviously he's very charming. Obviously he's very interesting and intelligent and, romantic. So obviously she's going to be in love. And she would have been misled when they were together. She would have been misled that who he was. Because she would never have fallen in love with that if there was the split. If there was a shift before that. She has to figure it out some way. Maybe he brings home a prize or something. Maybe, I don't know. It has to be something interesting. She's very intelligent. She has to be intelligent. But it should be. But, like, what? You know, what's she gonna do? What's she gonna find? Is it direct? Is it... Oh my gosh. Or should she... Kind of a thought. But let's say that happened. Or something similar to that. And he drugs her or something and convinces her it never happened. And that's part of what's driving her insane. Is she's not sure if it's real. And then, you know, like, if it's brought up later, like on a news report, or, you know, the kids in conversation saying stuff, and she starts, like, you can actively see her, like, wigging out a little bit. Because she's like, wait a minute, was this real? I think the other personality should love her. I think actually both should love her. He has no... I don't think he's against any woman. I don't think he's targeting any woman. I think the only threat against the MC is not going to be about her being a female or anything like that. I think it'll just be about her knowing. So what would that do? What would that do to her? Is it to try and understand him? Is it... Well, so then is she an accomplice at that point? Or is she... Does she help him? Or does she not help him? Maybe it should be like what you said. They go to bed, they're talking about it, and the next day, and she decides in her mind, she's like, I'm going to the police. And then she wakes up the next day and it feels like a dream. Maybe because the husband acts so like nothing happened, that she just is so confused and lost, and it felt like a dream what had all happened and what she'd seen. And it's like, she's like, that conversation happened, I know it happened, but the way he's acting and all of those things are so foreign seeming in comparison to the other extreme, that she's lost. Oh my god. I don't think that. I don't think that. I don't think that'll work. I don't know about that. Because how does that make any sense? How does that make sense? The only thing is, I'm trying to envision how deeply do we want the kids to know? How deeply do we want her to know? How much of it are they led to go on and believe is okay? How much of it do they not believe is okay? It's so many spectrums of how come before the kids? Or she was gonna go to the police, but she's dependent on her husband financially. But that's why she couldn't leave or get him arrested. Because then maybe she was raised in a more high society kind of life, where she was never taught how to do it herself, to be independent, or to basically take care of herself. So she's partially dependent on That's crazy. That's crazy. That's true. That's true. That's fair. Mm-hmm. We still never decided how they're going to kill them at the end of it. I mean, you know what? I guess we kind of did. We talked about them going insane, possibly. To the point maybe he drives them to, you know, maybe even being incoherent. You know, unable to speak normally, act normally, think normally. Maybe even like a regression mentally. To like. Oh my gosh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I don't know about that. How does that work? A shared experience? I'm trying to envision these things, and it sounds silly. I'm like walking in with the body. Hey kids. I don't think because we don't want the rest of them to be murderers. Oh my god. I know, but still, like, I think the dad should just be a murderer. I think the others should be involved in their own ways, but it should irk them. It should irk them in some sense. Mm-hmm. What if, instead of the basement, what if it's, I'm gonna go take this client to a showing, and it's at one of the houses. That way it kind of ties in the realtor thing. But like you said, if they know, that's not a bad idea. Mm-hmm. Yes. I'll try and convey it. If there's something that needs to be said out loud to convey it, that's fine. I know. Okay. That'll work for me. Yeah. I'll edit what I can too, but I know you'll do good at it too. We can just switch up with everything. But also, what are we gonna do for an intro? What would be a good intro? What should we call it in the first place? Perfection. That would be interesting, but I don't think that's a good name. Let me think. What are some words that are like perfect, flawless, faultless, ideal, quintessential, absolute, burnish, polish. Let me see. Ideal, flawless, seamless, excellent, superb. You know, I'm like, first class. I don't know why that stuck out to me. First class is not a bad idea. First class. First class. I like faultless and first class. Those are my two that stuck out to me personally. I was like, Do you have any ideas? Well, I mean, just thinking about the one that's Psycho. It's not. I'm not exactly sure we need to, like, we need to keep the main theme in because I was thinking about the Psycho one. And it's just Psycho. It's not particular. That one doesn't have a whole lot of meaning to it. It's just Psycho. It's about a psychotic person, obviously. But that doesn't have very much meaning. And it doesn't have to because overall it's pretty straightforward. But I think something like The First Class or Faultless, I think it conveys the overall message. It's absolute, it's the best, it's perfection, it's the whole motive in the name somehow. I don't know. That's not a bad idea. But what would the intro be like? What would the intro be like? Because that was just, I loved the one for Psycho. Oh, yeah. What's something in high school that y'all use with numbers or that y'all would have used with numbers and stuff on it? Like a school flag or, like a mascot. Same. There are apps for that. There are apps for it. But maybe I can make something. If I draw something with the pictures and the names, and if we decide on something, maybe I can do one, and it's about editing it and zooming out and zooming to each part, because that's might be more of what the editing is. Also, yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. There is, for example, the Murder, She Wrote intro. That one's very particular. That one is very focused on her. But then there's ones where it's inside a house or a building, and it's like going around at all the clues, and you see names, and you see, like the cast, basically. Then you have other ones where it's very upfront, very direct, and it's just the words across. And that's fine. That's good. It's not bad. Just not distinct. And I'm wondering what would happen if we did something like, clues. If we did something like, I think at least all of the ones my sister and I have, I think we should try and use all of them, even as background characters. But for the main characters, we don't need them all to have personalities. We don't need them all to be totally in-depth. We do not need that. But we do need to have background characters and things going on in the background, so it's not too single focused. But what's a good image of perfect? Yes. Oh no, I can change the lighting and stuff like that. And especially if we figure out some editing, we can do all of that too. To change the lighting on things. So, how many main characters are we thinking of having? Because we're going to have the family of 4. That's the murderer, the wife, the 2 kids. We have the MC, so that's 5. We have Ditzy Friend, 6. The victims, let's say 3 victims. We'll notate. Parents of the MC, so that's 12. You are willing to cut the Ditzy Friend. But we need a more lower character. We need a lower character that's still involved. No. We don't need to cut anybody out. We're just trying to get a scale of who's all there, who's going to be used, who's important that we need to have down already. Teachers, that'll be like 2 or 3 teachers. That's fine. So that's like 15. I think the rest will be mainly background characters. Do we need, what would you think of a mentor for the MC? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. True. Yeah, of course. That's the goal, is to not commit to anything for sure. But if we are to make an episode series, having a goal of what we'd like it to be. Yeah. Not exactly sure what the mentor would be about. I don't think her own parents should have a huge part in it. I don't think so. I think they should just kind of be around, obviously there, but not too much, I don't think. Maybe they'll say something once in a while that's kind of like a key or like a thought that kind of leaves you wondering about it. Yeah. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. And if in general they find them as charming, like they're like, oh, they're such a good family. They're so. And then it's like, maybe like, well, they weren't always that way, or he wasn't always that way, He had issues, but then. One or the other of them. That's what I'm saying. What should happen in the end? Should she. What? I don't think they should all die. I would think she should confront them ever, but I would think in some way she confronts it. But I don't know what exactly should happen. I think the police should get involved. And I would think he'd get institutionalized or something. And the wife probably imprisoned. The kids, though, I think maybe the last thing we know is the kids are going to court to figure out where they're going to live or something like that. And it shouldn't be an absolutely perfect happy ending. It should be realistic. It should be that it's not going to be perfect. But there's some sort of justice done. Maybe the ditzy friend. Maybe the ditzy friend dies. But anyone else, I don't think the family. Because the murderer is gonna know that none of the family is a threat. It's most likely that her family is going to be very unknowing of what's going on, mostly. And I think the murderer is very particular. I think he would be like, they're not involved. They're not a threat. She's a threat, and I know she's not telling anyone. Because they somehow, some way reflect each other in how they think. So it should be more directed towards her, or any threats to him, I think. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not a bad idea. That's true. That's true. And they're somehow meeting in the middle, which is interesting. I'm so hungry. Once I get up, I'm probably gonna go eat something. Oof. Okay. I think we made some progress today. Okay, no worries. Awesome. Alright, well, have a good night, everyone. And I will not be on tomorrow. I will be on Sunday. Good night.